Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I have absolutely no idea when I'm going to put this video out, but this is quite an impromptu video. Just to explain a couple of things about the channel as such and where we're going. This is a generic channel update and I have no idea how I'm going to put this in this episode, but basically there are a few things that I have to publicly mention before going forwards. Well, the number one positive thing is at this moment in time, I have been offered the chance to become a YouTube partner, i.e. monetization. YouTube have sent me an email. I haven't reached 1,000 subs yet, and they've sent me an email in advance to start the process. So I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with that. What that means is that I have access to a range of features that could possibly make my channel a little bit more worth my time, put it that way, but only in terms of monetary value. But in terms of worth my time, if people keep viewing my videos, that makes everything that I do worth it, and money is not an issue whatsoever. I'm not doing this for the income. However, some of the features may allow me to do so, and I think as someone who is very open and honest about how he wants the channel to look and basically how it's going to look to you guys in the future, I thought I'd make a few things very clear. The first of these many features is called Super Chat. Now, Super Chat, Super Likes, I'm going to get to grips with how that's supposed to work. All it essentially means is that during live streams, if you want your comment to be pinned at the top, you can put a pound in, 50p or whatever. You put a monetary value towards that and your comment goes towards the top. I have very little idea how that's going to work, but no doubt when I do a next live stream, I'll find out for myself as well. And that's an option that I have taken up. But one thing that I said I would never do is channel memberships. And I mentioned this a long time ago about why I think that being a YouTuber who doesn't do this sort of thing is probably a more refreshing thing. And I think many of you guys are a little bit sick of having the fact that you can't access certain pieces of content on certain channels because you're not a member, and you're a non-member as such. You're a poor, you're part of the poor class, so you can't have access to certain pieces of material, or depending on what sort of structure the YouTuber has. Now, I'm not knocking any other YouTuber when I say this, because I speak and I'm in contact with fellow YouTubers who have chosen to start channel memberships. And I've discovered why pretty much every YouTuber basically does channel memberships. And before you say about, oh, because they want the money, well, of course, most do. But also, it's actually thrown in your face by YouTube. Now, YouTube revenue income from ad streams has massively gone down. It's been reported several times. And what basically is happening is, instead of YouTube paying you for per ad watch and video watch, they're paying you absolutely jack all. And what they're doing is they're putting the emphasis on people who watch YouTube paying fees to watch a YouTube channel. I believe that YouTube, it's free access for all, but I do believe the way YouTube is going at the moment, they are pushing all the big YouTubers, every single YouTuber with 1,000 subs, monetize a channel, you name it, they're pushing them for channel memberships, i.e. to become a subscription-based service. So it's free to access, but if you really like something, a particular channel, and you want to access certain material, content, then you're going to have to become a member of that channel. Personally, I don't know how that's going to work in the long term for YouTube, because I'm not being funny. As someone who is a subscriber to many other YouTube channels, a bit less these days now doing my own work, I can't justify keep paying like £3 to that one, £3 to that one, £3 to that one to access content that, I'm not being funny here, and this is my biggest thing with YouTubers asking for channel memberships. Is the content that they are asking you to pay for, the extra content that they are giving their members, any better than the content that they're making? No, it isn't. I think I'm not being funny. I think it's a bit desperate. And I looked at myself and I thought, well, let's just have a look into this membership thing and just visualize what it could mean for me. And I came to the very quick conclusion that I make really good content. I make content that you guys love, and I will continue making that content, and it will be free to use, to watch. You won't have to pay to watch any of my stuff. I don't want to make it so that you're paying. I know there's a YouTube channel that I've been made aware about that has a membership structure where they make a video and their members see the video 3 or 4 days before the rest of everybody else. And I'm thinking, well, one, you're dividing people up into subcategories here, people who pay, and then the poor class who get it later on. Well, I'm not being funny. I'd rather just wait 3 or 4 days. I'm not desperate. And I'm not being funny. This particular YouTube channel, I wouldn't be desperate to see their content 4 days in advance. And I'm pretty certain that most of my content, as much as most of you guys think what I do is amazing, I'm sure you wouldn't be desperate to watch my stuff 4 days in advance for the privilege of £2 a month or something like that. I know it's only £2, but come on, even I wouldn't pay that sort of money. But I just think it's cheeky. And for that reason, as a YouTuber who, quite frankly, prides himself on being a little bit different from everybody else, no, I'm not doing it. Because I just literally don't think I can offer any content that is unique and significantly better that you, the people that are really like, I mean, I think we've got a few hundred people here at least that will watch whatever video I put out, whether it's Ford, Rover, tool reviews, live streams, whatever. We've got a few hundred people here, and I don't believe that many of you would feel that I can offer something massively improved on what I offer. And that would mean that I would be making my content for my non-members slightly worse than the content for my members. That's how I put it. So my answer, as I say, I said it before, channel memberships, no, it's desperate. It's desperate. I don't need the income. But I will be getting income through views. So people can help me out by subscribing, liking and viewing my videos. That is a free thing. It is your choice. And there are many people that are watching me right now who have never subscribed, maybe liked a few of my videos. I mean, to be fair, I can't make you like my videos if you don't like them. But if you don't like them while you're watching my channel, go away. No offence, but that's kind of the way. If you watch me, then you clearly like what I do or what I have to say and my opinions. I'm really blessed. I really am. Your support has been absolutely amazing. And I've had so many people that message me. Every week I get messages on people saying, thank you so much for entertaining them and giving them useful advice. That's what this channel is all about. And I don't believe that, especially my advice and information videos, that I should make that sort of content. And I consider that some of my best content. My most watched and enjoyed content is my information videos. And I'm not going to want to make those videos non-accessible to people who haven't paid a channel membership. Because this is really important information. Like, I don't know, doing a video on why a Focus Mark 1 pollen filter seal is so important. I can't make that content exclusive. That's important that everybody needs to know about. It's a serious problem on Mark 1s that people really don't think about, and it will happen time and time again. But hopefully my video may have shown people just to keep an eye on things to prevent problems escalating and causing a lot of financial, basically a lot of problems financially. I mean, we're talking a few £100 here, but still, you'd rather just pay for a £10 seal and get it sealed rather than causing hundreds of pounds worth of damage. But anyway, I am now a fully I am a fully joined up, monetized member of YouTube, even though at the moment it's a phasing in process. I haven't hit 1,000 subs, so YouTube haven't started sort of the algorithm for like views to earnings, whatever. My predicted earnings apparently in a few weeks' time might be 0.03p. I'm going to be a rich man soon. Anyway. That's that, and I'm so blessed that I've got here. And you know what, I've got to 1,000 subs, and it's been hard work, but I've actually proven one little thing. You don't need multiple car ownership. I mean, more than 2 cars, way more than 2 cars. And let's face it, how many cars have other YouTubers had on their fleet to get to 1,000 subs? Probably 3 or 4 or 5. You don't need that many cars. I've had two, that's it. And it's taken me about 16 months. So if any of you are thinking about going into YouTube, I am going to do a video on what I do, what software I use to encourage other people to do this, because it's not for everyone. It's time consuming. But if you want to put a video out there every few weeks or every once a month or somewhat, then I'll show you some of the things that I do to keep the cost low. And quite frankly, anybody could do this, but you have to put the effort in and the time and the enthusiasm, because people want to see enthusiasm. And I only buy cars that I can get enthusiastic about. I don't, this is the thing also. I've not only got to 1,000 subs with 2 cars, I've also achieved it by doing 1 car review. One. My Ford Focus Mark 1. And that was an early review. It wasn't even more of a car review. It was more of a buyer's guide. And that's what it was. I wanted it to be the sort of ultimate Mark 1 buyer's guide to encompass as much information as possible, but not really not in a massively detailed way, but one that could be watched by the enthusiast or anybody who's looking at it as like a modern entry into classic car ownership, because it is a modern classic now. So, and I think that's came across the right way, because that now has 5,000 views. That's unbelievable. My best video it has got 7,000 views, and it's the keys and immobilizers with Mark 1s. I didn't know that people were that fascinated over the keys and immobilizer systems. That was a good video. There was a couple of things that I actually missed from that video, of which I'm going to I have corrected in another video that I've recently put out. But also, I'm going to now start reprogramming a 3rd key completely to my focus. That will be in a future episode coming up. But anyway, 1 car review. That's all I've done. That's it. How many YouTubers have had to do loads of car reviews to be able to achieve 1,000 subs? Now this might be where my channel sort of plateaus and then goes off the cliff. I don't know. I have no idea. At the end of the day, I just make the videos that I want to make. I am not interested in the numbers. I'm interested in the engagement. Clearly, obviously, bigger numbers help me. I mean, I could earn a bit more from these videos, and I'm not going to say no to earning more. But as I say, making people pay for channel memberships, I can't see it happening. I can't see it being a viable thing, and I can't see it being a viable thing in another 1,000 subs. So no. I'm perfectly happy to let YouTube pay for my videos, depending on how popular they are. So you can help me out by watching my videos, and I put a lot of videos out. So, you know, there's plenty of videos to come, and there's going to be a variety of content coming up throughout the next few months. While I'm doing this, I might as well do a shout out. If you have a Ford Focus Mark 1 that you want to basically feature on the channel as a community video, I can do it from my desk, because at the end of the day, I can go to people's cars, and I have arranged to meet a few people with their Mark 1s to feature their Mark 1s, to do a little review on them, whatever, in the flesh. But overall, it's mostly sitting at this desk, and this is the modern way of doing things now. Like, I don't have humongous amounts of cash to just put fuel in my car and go off and review somebody's car. I can't justify that at this moment in time, because I'm getting nothing back from YouTube in terms of monetary gain. But I still can produce videos by doing it this way, and the community feature videos are so nice. And I love putting little information videos about this, you know, a car's life, their history, what the owner's done to the car, a little bit of interesting bits and pieces, lovely photographs to put in, and my opinionated comments as always. But as I say, if you have a Mark 1 that you want to feature on the channel, please get in touch with me. Send me an email. Send me some information about your car. You know, send me a big bloody email, or lots of like 20, 30 pictures-ish. And then I can make a video of it. So that option is open. Rover 45 owners, please get in touch. If you want your Rover 45 featured on the channel, I will put that out there in exactly the same context. Just send me a bunch of information, some photos, and I'll make a video. Whether it's a 10-minute video, a 20-minute video, or I go on too long and talk for half an hour. That might be a bit too much though. I'll try and keep it to 20 minutes. I have been quite busy as well with things outside of YouTube, and that is the Ford Focus Mark 1 Preservation Group. That group is going on so well. I have had ridiculous amounts of people come to me for stickers, and do you know what? I mean, this was full this morning. I've lost half my stamps. That's how many people want these stickers. So if you do want Focus Mark 1 Preservation Group stickers, again, please let me know. Email me. I'm doing everything via PayPal, and I can give my PayPal details to you, and you can send me some money, and I'll sort it out for you, and I'll get it out to you, whatever amount of stickers you want, whether you want Mark 1 stickers, channel stickers, whatever. Again, we've got the channel sticker side. Again, you know, at the end of the day, guys, these are just stickers. I'm not going into the full merch thing like the membership. I just think merchandise is this time consuming. I'm finding it time consuming with just stickers. So, and to be fair, I want to concentrate on making videos and not merch, because that's what I'm in this for. I'm not in this for like the merch and stuff like that. But the stickers are great because it basically keeps people showing their appreciation for what I do. They want to be part of the little, usually fixing and tinkering community that is slowly building up. I haven't had a huge amount of people want those stickers though, channel stickers, but if you want them, they are available. Mark 1 Preservation Group stickers are always available, and I'm having to order more because we've got hundreds of members now on that group, and we're hoping to, I'm hoping to organise the biggest Mark 1 rally ever next year. That's not including Ford Fair. I'm not going to class Ford Fair because it's just an array of cars, not specific Mark 1. So I'm doing that as well. I think the Mark 1 rally will be kind of open towards people from outside the Mark 1 Preservation Group. I don't really want to start saying, well, you're not invited because you're not part of the group, but you know, I have to be realistic about these things in terms of capacity. If we have if we go to a venue where there's basically 100 spaces and pretty much all those spaces are taken up with people in the group, then it will just be purely a group rally where people all over from the country can come together and enjoy these wonderful cars that we all seem to love in the Mark 1 community. And we're going to try and make it a central location, because I'm very conscious that we have got members all the way from Portsmouth to Motherwell at the moment, and I'll try and find a space in the future to actually meet. So my YouTubing thing is just it's just a platform. My Rover 45 is, you know, Beatrix is working wonderfully well. We have got some videos to come up with that car that I've yet to release. Some of the jobs have been done, bit of a pain, but that car is a daily driver and she's in far better condition than what I ever imagined. And I'm taking her to more shows on the Mark 1 at the moment. She's going everywhere, and I feel very privileged to own that car. She's a stonkingly good car, and if you want a cheap, honest way into modern classic car motoring, Mark 1 Focus, Rover 45. I wouldn't rate a Rover 75. I've never driven one, but the truth is I don't think I'd want one after owning a 45. And Rover 25s, plenty of people love them, but I'd be disappointed, I think, with that car. I just don't think it's going to give me the sort of ownership experience that I get in the 45 in terms of practicality, the way it drives, the sophistication. They're two different cars. So there's a lot of, I say there's quite a few Rover bits going in and there. I know the Ford stuff might be quite overwhelming. I mean, I advertise my channel to people very openly and honestly, sharing the love of all cars, especially Fords and Rovers. And it says it on there. And sometimes I think mainly, I should have put mainly Fords and maybe a little Rovers, because at the moment it's going one way a little bit, which is quite natural considering my interest. But we'll see where the channel goes. You would have already seen 50 Shades of Panther Black come back from the body shop. She's in the garage at the moment in bits and pieces. She's in a complete and utter mess. And since that video went out on Saturday, I have been cleaning that car thoroughly in the engine bay, just with some just water and cloths and, you know, just low cost items, just to clean it all up and get it back to how it was. And it's taken me hours and hours. At the moment I've put about 5 hours of cleaning into it, and I want to make it really good, and then I will go and make a video in a few days time where we put everything, or start to put everything back on it. But there is absolutely no rush. My next show in the Mark 1 will be the Festival of the Unexceptional at the end of the month. I cannot wait for that, and there are more details about that show further ahead, particularly on the Mark 1 Preservation Group, because that's going to be a really nice meet for people. And we hope to have a convoy of Mark 1s going into the show, because the Festival of the Exceptional is not a show where you can drive in together. It is a show where you will get separated quite easily, so you have to drive in together. So we are going to meet somewhere before. There are 8 Mark 1s that are going to be there in attendance approximately at this moment in time. We would like more, because quite frankly, there is no better show to show the sign and strength of the Mark 1 community, and it is growing. And at the moment, the Mark 1 community is, nobody knows what a Mark 1 community is, but people are starting to open their eyes now to what is it has been a stonkingly good car, but a car that has been more or less seen as a banger, and a bashed up, dented, rotten banger, just cheap banger. And the perception is now changing, thankfully. So we've got all that coming up. The Beatrix will be going to a few shows forwards. We've been to Gaydon, and that video may or may not have come out, but that was a good show. And yeah, there's a few other shows that I'll be going to, but mainly that's this for this month. We will also be returning to Milo, the Impression S3 CVT Rover 45, because that car is going to have a top-down service. I've actually just had an order in. I'll just show you this actually. I might as well show you, because I've been ordering things for that car. The owner paid me for all the bits that I thought the car needed, particularly the engine, for a top-down service. Now, the issue we're having with the gearbox, possibly with the gearbox, is something that may get better. I've got a feeling that it's not necessarily the gearbox. There's no other. It drives quite nicely as it is. It just stutters on the RPMs a little bit. So I'm going to do a top-down service for that car, and it will 100% be much better, including the recent orders of this motor flush, manual motor oil flush. I have never used an oil flush. That car needs it. That car desperately needs it. Like I gave the owner a choice. I can either spend hours taking the sump off, which I don't really want to do, but I will do, because looking at the state of Beatrix's sump, I think this has got the same sort of oil sludge at the bottom. Or we can use this. Oil flushes, I think this is appropriate. I think it's an engine that needs it. And secondly, once we've changed the oil thoroughly, obviously put this in, let it idle for about half an hour, it says. Let me know. Honestly, I saw this and I thought, this looks like one of those milkshakey drink cans. Just looks like, oh. And then it will be followed up with this stuff. Now, are you familiar with this? Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Now, this stuff I have used before on the P6, and it did wonders. It stopped oil leaks. It quietened the engine down. Engine oil can go so far, but on an older engine, or maybe an engine that in this case requires it, Beatrix, her engine didn't need this. I don't ever think, none of Beatrix or 50 Shades of Panther Black, neither car required this. because the engine oil has been changed quite regularly. But in Beatrix's case, I've taken the sump off because I just had to. I had to find out. And since I cleaned it all, well, I did the job of this just manually with carb cleaner. And I've got a can of carb cleaner as well because I'm going to need that. But this is quite interesting. It says it eliminates dry starts, the #1 cause of wear in new engines. It seals worn cylinders to slow oil consumption, cools and quiets engines and gearboxes, the extra protection needed in 4-cylinder and high-performance engines. Interesting. For total protection in newer engines and to stop smoking, knocking oil consumption in older engines. Very interesting. And it will not void new car warranties when used as directed. It reduces friction for less wear, higher fuel mileage and more power. It keeps older engines alive, keeps new engines new. It extends the oil life by 50%. It slows the blow-by gases for less pollution and oil contamination, raises the oil pressure, which I find interesting. I don't know how that works, and will not sludge or varnish, and it will start easy at any temperature. And I tell you what, this stuff, it's pure petroleum. It's petroleum jelly, or almost like a more liquidy form of petroleum jelly, and it is 100% petroleum. This is what I'm going to use just to go over that, and that's going to be one heck of an interesting episode. That is coming up towards the end of this month, just before the Festival of the Unexceptional. So that'll be an interesting video for the Rover 45 owners, and just to show you what a car that has had work done to it, but it needs an engine TLC top down. So we're going to do oil, obviously flush, new oil, new filter, treatment to go in with the oil, and I'll show you how to use this appropriately. We're not going to use the whole bottle, probably about half the bottle. Spark plugs, just basic spark plugs, a new air filter. We're going to change the fuel filter because that can make a huge difference, and I bet you that hasn't been changed in a long time. We're also potentially going to clean the throttle housing. That is something I'm going to have to do. So that there is a few things we're going to do. Probably not disturb the inlet manifold because that will encompass its own costs. Like we probably need to change the inlet manifold gasket as well. There's just a few things that I'm not going to touch at the moment, just to see how things go with just basic stuff without actually digging into the engine too much. And also we've got to change the can cover gasket because it's leaking. So there's another job. But we're going to clean a variety of sensors up. We're going to start unplugging sensors and give it a bit of clean up. Maybe clean the stepper motor out on the inlet manifold. Just a few little areas that can go. And also, I may look at the crankshaft position sensor on this car, because there is a technique you can do to actually get the crankshaft position sensor cleaned up. It's a magnet. It's a tiny little magnet. And they get a little bit of the dirt and carbon from inside the flywheel, sticks to that magnet. You don't want that clogging up the signals. Clean it. And there's a technique, there's a way of doing that. And I'll show you how to do that. It's going to be an all-in-one episode. It's going to be a long episode, but I can't wait to get it done. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. This is kind of what I wanted to say in this episode. So stickers are all available. Okay, just message me if you've got any questions on my channel email. There's no channel memberships and nothing will change, and I intend for that to be the way. But just, encourage people. If you know someone who hasn't watched my channel, please drag them this way, because at the end of the day, that's better than channel memberships in my opinion. It really is. Subs, likes, comments, put a comment in. Sometimes I feel that it would be nice to have more comments in the comment sections. Keeps me more busy. Any sort of interaction really. I'll be doing some live streams going forwards. I don't know when I'll be doing live streams, but it'll be as it is. And that's my diary-ish in a sort of random channel update. I don't usually channel updates are the YouTuber going around their fleet of cars showing you, right, this has had this done and this has had that done and that's not had this done and that's going to go in. I'm like, no, just do it from the desk. Anyway, see you again very soon, and take care.